SuperTalk Mississippi media production.
Own the John Deere compact tractor you've always wanted. Now with 0% financing on all 1 through 4 series models at Ag Up Equipment. Visit agup.com. Offer ends April 30th, 2026. Some restrictions apply. See dealer for details.
Pike County, here comes your morning show. Dave in the morning on 93.5 FM, SuperTalk Mississippi.
So now, understand, you're not going to dictate to me what I do and what I don't do, but I'm still the mayor, Mr. Brown.
None of this meeting is recorded. None by any parties. Correct?
No, sir, mine is recorded. I'm being accused.
Any conversation.
Said I want to make it on record. I want the allegations in writing, party accused, or on recording of this harassment.
And now, here's your host, Dave Hughes.
Good morning to you. How you doing? Monday has rolled around once again. But at least it's going to be warmer, which means the groundhog can kiss my behind. High today 60. Low tonight 39. High tomorrow 65. Not bad. We'll take it. You have a little bit of a rain chance for Tuesday and Tuesday night, but the high will be 65, as I said. The low will be 45, so not a lot to worry about frozen precipitation-wise. And then we get back into a little bit more of a normal weather pattern for a while. Let's try to keep it positive on a Monday morning, and let's not discuss what they're talking about could happen next week, late next week. Well, middle of the week, probably 10th, 11th, 12th, somewhere in that neighborhood. Those are long-range models, and we're not going to pay attention to them because we're in a good mood today, and we don't want to wreck that. That probably can give you some idea as to what I'm talking about if you haven't heard about this. If you haven't heard about this, congratulations for staying off of Facebook, because everybody on there, oh, we're all going to die. No, we're not. Shut up. No one's interested. We have a lot of stuff going on right now. Maybe the understatement of a lifetime. We have the state legislature in session. We have everything that's going on in Washington. Did you notice that the government is currently shut down? The federal government has a partial shutdown going on. Did you in your life notice that when it shut down last time for a month? The whole thing? Did it affect your life in any way? I've asked a lot of people that question, and the answer is almost uniformly, no, not really. I didn't notice. We have bought into the story that they sell out of Washington about how important they are. And until we unbuy in from that story, the nonsense will continue. It's literally just that simple. Oh, it's a government shutdown. This is horrible. What are we going to do? Well, I don't know about you, but I'm going to go to work. I'm going to have a nice lunch. Going to have dinner tonight. Have a nice time and then go to bed. You know, the same as every day. It has zero impact. So I'm sorry, despite all the screaming and yelling and gnashing of teeth and rending of garments that we had last time, we're in a partial shutdown this time, which isn't even a full shutdown, just parts of the government, 6 agencies. The rest of it's still running just fine. And even some of the parts that haven't gotten funded, because the one that's in question, the DHS funding, includes FEMA and other things, but FEMA is allowed to continue to operate to deal with emergencies, to deal with crises, which kind of is the point of FEMA, so that's having zero effect there. It just really isn't as big a deal as they want us to believe. And I'm going by results. How long was that last shutdown? I would have to look it up because I honestly quit paying attention. After a while, what was the point? So this is going on. We've got the big argument happening there. They had the Grammys last night and nobody cared. I tend to agree with Richard, what he said at the end of the show there, when JT was asking him about the Super Bowl this weekend and being excited. And Richard, the biggest sports guy you'll find. Knowledgeable, on top of stuff, into it, loves it. And he, about the Super Bowl, his opinion was, as you heard, yeah, whatever. It's kind of where we're at. Have you noticed that? Everything has this ever-thickening patina of disinterest on it. Things that you used to love 5, 10, 15 years ago, now it's like, whatever. That is one of the effects, that's a psychological effect, of drowning yourself in fear porn 24/7. Always outraged, always upset, always terrified over something. Why? Because you're being told you're supposed to be outraged, upset, and terrified. It deadens your senses and it kills your ability to enjoy life the way you normally would. I mean, that's just the psychological processes in action, is all that is. There's nothing mysterious. It's no, well, what's going on? I'll tell you what's going on. Everybody spends all of their time looking for the next thing to be upset about. You have to take a knee sometimes and allow yourself to be happy. If you don't, what's the point? So what Richard said there is, I think, symptomatic. And yes, he did bring up a good point. The current state of the NFL, there's problems there. There's all sorts of other stuff going on, which, again, comes back to what I was saying. There's always a whole bunch of other stuff going on. Nonstop. 24/7. And you can only stay in that state for so long before life loses its flavor. You have to put, well, Dave, I can't not care. Okay. It's your life you're ruining, not mine. Go for it. Knock yourself out. Have a good time. By the way, everything that you're upset about, everything that you're angry about or worried about or scared of, you let me know, because I'm really genuinely curious about this. You let me know when your anger and your upsettedness and your fear has any effect on anything. You let me know when you change something with any of that. I'm not seeing a lot of that because change isn't the point. Affecting things isn't the point. Keeping you worked up is the point. Been saying this for a while, and I'm going to keep saying it because it's a message that we need to keep getting out. It's the only way we can battle this. It's not that easy. Don't for a second think old Dave is sitting here fooling himself to that level. That's not going to happen. But as always, my predominant hobby in life is to collect I told you so rights. So just staking my claim in those right now, as usual. Chance of rain Tuesday night, by the way. They just updated the forecast, 90%. 90% Tuesday night, but again, only a low of 45, so I don't care. Cold rain is still rain. It's not sleet, it's not snow, it's definitely not freezing rain, it's just cold rain. Okay. Have at it, I'm fine with that. Zero reason to get remotely concerned about it. Again, just trying to spread that along. And yes, that's a good point. Got a message said, we all ate the cheese, talking about COVID. Now they terrify us of everything. The weather, Iran, ICE, don't forget federal government shutdowns. We're all going to starve to death because Chuck Schumer isn't going to get lunch service. No, that's the joke. He's still going to get lunch service. Everybody in Washington, in Congress, doesn't even notice. It changes nothing about their life. So yes, exactly. That is exactly 100% correct, which goes back to something I've been saying for a while. Why did they do this? Why did they use fear and anger to control you? Well, because it works. You know why it works? Because you let it work. You buy into it. Go dig up the receipt from where you bought into it and return that for a full refund and get back to living your life. I guarantee you, you will notice very little difference in your day-to-day life other than you'll start enjoying it again. Now, having said that, there are some things you have to be concerned about. We've got a local bank in Pike County put out a notice yesterday about a scam going around in the area, trying to get your money, as usual. How does the scam operate? Fear. Trying to scare people. Right back to what I was saying. And the qualifying deadline has passed for McComb City elections. Let's take a look at what your wondrous ballot is going to look like. We'll do that when we come back on Super Talk, Mississippi Pike County 93.5. Keep it right here.
Every now and then, we remind all of you loving, awesome, hardworking husbands that you have a premium it's time to renew. No, it's not life insurance, car insurance, or health insurance. It's way more important than those. I'm Kristen. Gentlemen, it's time to renew those long-term wife insurance policies. When you surprise her with a gift from Selmans, you remind her that no matter what lies ahead, you and she will get through it together. Your gift tells her this long-term wife insurance policy is for life. Renew your long-term wife insurance policy right here at Selmans. We're in it for the long term with you.
Take a step towards a stronger you. Join Southwest Health for our 36th annual Heart Healthy Day on Friday, February 13th. Head over to Uptown McComb Mall from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. for free health screenings, expert advice, and exciting giveaways. Follow your heart to better health at the 36th annual Heart Healthy Day on Friday, February 13th. This event is completely free. We'll see you there.
Don't escape in the morning. Even when you miss it the first time, you can catch it on the podcast. Missing out would be a crime. Super Talk 93.5 is always the place to be. Want to get the podcast version? Here, my friend, is the key. SuperTalk PikeCounty.com. It's all around, it's all the rage.
weekday mornings at 6 after 9 on 93.5 FM, or you can catch up anytime by going to
SuperTalkPikeCounty.com.
Dave in the Morning at SuperTalkPikeCounty.com. Catch up and catch on. Welcome back. Super Talk, Mississippi, Pike County, 93.5 on a very nice Monday morning. All right, before we go anywhere else, let's talk about this scam. We talk about scams from time to time that circulate around. They're everywhere because why? Again, they work. When you hear about some of these scams and you think to yourself, who would fall for that? The answer is someone. Someone. And with the way things are automated now and the way you can put things in motion and they just run themselves, a scammer can afford to make, they can dial 10,000 numbers in a day, less than a day. They can send 10,000 text messages with a link that you best not click. All it takes is one or two, and they're making more per hour than you do. That's why it's so important to keep the awareness high for these kind of things when they happen. We have them come through here all the time. We keep every few months, we have another round of the scam going around, and all of the law enforcement agencies put out notices as usual saying this isn't real. You have a warrant for your arrest for failure to appear for jury duty. Unless you give me an Apple gift card right now over the phone, we're going to come get you. If they're coming to get you, they don't make a courtesy call to schedule a time. That's the easy way to tell that's bull. But this new one, a little bit more insidious than that. Pike National Bank over the weekend put out a thing. There are texts being sent around and phone calls being made as well. We detected a debit of $1,450 on your card. Reply yes to approve the visit, or, and then has a link to review or decline. The link, by the way, don't put this in your computer. Don't even type it in. https://ivanmoro.com/PNB. Fun fact, just because that's what it shows you on the screen doesn't mean that's the actual link you're clicking. You can make a hyperlink onto any text you want to. You can type that out and then link it to something else, which is how they get you. Because if you go there and then you put in your credentials, you'll go there and it looks like a regular site, the page you always go to, and you put in your credentials, congratulations. By close of business today, you will have $0.00 in your account. Because now they have your login information and they'll get it all. But notice again how they work on fear. If you get a text says we detected a debit of $1,450, visit here to approve it, and you're like, I haven't spent $1,450 on any. Somebody's got my stuff. No, but they're about to if you click that link. Well, the bank put it out. They do have a fraud center to monitor potential fraudulent transactions. But they'll send a text message and ask you to reply Y or N for yes or no to approve it. They don't send a link for this reason. And then they made an update to it. Scammers are spoofing the phone number at the bank and the automated banking line and calling customers. So when it shows up on your caller ID, it looks like it is the bank calling you. It shows the name of the bank. It shows the number. It ain't them. So many people are still unaware that that is something that is widely used by scammers. Most of the spam calls you get, scam calls you get, whatever you want to call them, they're not actually calling from the number it shows you on your phone. I've told this story many times, and this was years ago. I was actually sitting in the studio when this happened. Saw my phone was ringing, picked it up. I was getting a call from Dave Hughes. From my phone number. They had spoofed my phone number and called me. No, before you ask, I didn't answer. I spend way too much time talking to myself as it is. I wasn't going to go any further down that rabbit hole. But you cannot trust caller ID anymore. This is a great example of that. And what they do, they'll call you up and same story. You got to have that fear element. We detected, let's just go with the same amount. There's been a debit attempt on your account for $1,450 to verify or unverify that. I just need you to confirm your login details for your online banking. If you don't use online banking, if you're one of the few people that don't at this point, and you tell them that, they'll go, okay, well, we can do it if you just... give me your debit card number and your PIN number. Don't laugh. There are people that will do it because once you're scared, if you don't understand how this works, you don't know what's going on, there are people that will hand it over. They'll read it out. They'll repeat it in case they missed it the first time. All in an utterly ironic attempt to prove to the scammer trying to take their money that they're worried that someone might take their money. This is, again, not a hypothetical. This is not something that might happen. This is happening right now in Pike County, in southwest Mississippi. The bank had to put the notice out. Now, what do you do in this situation? Number one, if you get a text, ignore it. If you get a call and it looks like it's from the bank and you answer it and they start asking you for details, hang up. You call the bank, because even though they're spoofing the number and it looks like they're calling from the bank when they're not, you call the bank, it reaches the actual bank if you make the call. So you call them up and say, hey, I just got this call or I got this text. It says I had this. Can you check this for me? And they'll check it. And they'll come back every time and say, no, that's not real. Leave that alone. Don't answer those calls anymore. Don't ever click on a link in a text. That's the simplest way to deal with stuff, with this specifically, because it's happening. Not might happen, not could happen. It is happening. And if they catch somebody at the wrong moment, put a little fear in them, rent is due and they have just enough to cover it, certainly don't have an extra $1,450 lying around, they're going to see that, and that knot of fear is going to build in their stomach. They're going to panic a little bit, and they'll do anything to straighten this out. And at that point, they've been gotten. Don't be one of those people. But notice this goes back to what we just talked about in the first segment. Stop spending your life in terror. Stop spending your life in anger, in fear, in uncertainty. How much time a day do you spend worrying about things you have no control over, and it does not matter if you're upset or not? Functionally, going by, what do we go by? Results. You get mad, you get upset, you get terrified, you get scared, And next week, is that going to have changed anything? If the answer is no, you're wasting your time, your energy, and you're making yourself more vulnerable to things like what's going on right now with this particular scam. Because if you're already scared and you're already worked up and you're already mad, and they throw something like this at you, well, you're already there. They don't have to work to get you upset. You were upset before they reached out. And that just adds to it. Because when you're scared, when you're mad, you don't think clearly. That's just common sense. It's a psychological reality. That's the way it works. So, boy, do I hate to go down the Elsa route, but let it go. What's it? Yes. Worry about the things that matter to you. It goes back to what I was saying about the federal government shutdown. We have a partial shutdown of the government. It shut down Saturday. Today is Monday. Oh my goodness. No. We just had one that lasted a little bit over a month. How did that affect your day-to-day living? But you're going to be told this is a catastrophe. Why? Well, you're going to be told that by the people using it to try to get their way. Every time. Let all of that go. Then you can think clearly. And then when you get a text like this that says it's from Pike National Bank, by the way, it doesn't say bank. It says BANL, and then it's got a left pointing arrow. Makes it sort of kind of look like a K if you squint or if you don't look at it very closely. If you get one of those texts, if you're thinking clearly, it's not even a blip on the radar. You're like, stupid scammers, and you move on. You delete the text, you move on. You get one of the calls, you're like, yeah, hold on now. I'll call you right back, and hang up. And it doesn't matter what they say. Well, wait, no, if you do that, clunk, then you call the bank, any bank, your bank. It's not just limited to this bank. It's all of them. They will try this on all of them. So keep your guard up and keep a calm mind. I know it's difficult because everyone spends most of their time every day explaining to you why you should be worked up. And we listen. We listen to people that we wouldn't take their recommendation for what to cook for dinner or how to get our hair done, but we'll take their recommendation on whether or not we should be upset. That's the most aggravating part of it. All right. Friday was the qualifying deadline for the McComb municipal elections. We got a humdinger, a doozy, and an attempt to revisit the past. If you recall, from 2018 to 2022, the board of mayor and selectmen we had at the time didn't do a single audit, caused all sorts of problems. There were all sorts of irregularities that have come out as we're working our way through trying to get the financials back in shape and get the audits done so that the state auditor won't just take all of our money that should be coming to us as a city. That was the board that did it. They think you're stupid because they're all running again this time, just about. Let's run down the list. For mayor, incumbent Cordelia Lockley running for a third term. Current Ward 5 Selectman Bruce Mullins not running for his selectman seat. He's running for mayor against Mayor Lockley. Trishelle Veal has announced a run for mayor. And former city administrator, former selectman David Myers qualified, and he's running for mayor of McComb. Whoever wins the Democratic primary, by the way, in May, will face off against the omnipresent David Stewart in the general election, who is running as an independent candidate. Select person at large, the incumbent Tabitha Felder Isaac, I'm just saying, will be facing off against Sean Thompson in the Democratic primary. Sean Thompson, formerly of the McComb Main Street group, did a good job there. Should be a good race. The only unopposed race on the ballot, Ward 1 Selectman Tommy McKenzie, the incumbent, and nobody's on the ballot against him. Democrat, Republican, Independent, Martian, nobody. That, by the way, is a pretty good sign that you're doing a decent job. Just saying. Ward 2, Matt Cotting, the incumbent, the Republican, has a Democratic challenger, Tiffany Gordon. Ward 3, Terry Waterman Baylor, currently the Ward 3 select woman, will face off against Devontae Johnson in the Democratic primary. Johnson, of course, was one of the board members that got us into the enormous financial mess that we're in now. Ward 4, Eddie Thompson, the incumbent, is facing off against Dorothy Robinson and Sean Williams in the Democratic primary. Sean Williams was on the board from 2018 to 2022. For Ward 5, because Ward 5 selectman, the current selectman, Bruce Mullins, running for mayor, so it's a wide open field there. Kizzy County and Ronnie Brock are facing off. Ronnie Brock, of course, held the Ward 5 selectman seat from 2014 to 2022. So that 2018 to 2022 time period. If all the ones from that era that are running were to win, we would have the same mayor and the same Ward 3, Ward 4, and Ward 5 select people as we had from 2018 to 2022. This is the literal definition of a step backwards. Doing our best to dig out of the hole that was dug for us from 2018 to 2022. If you remember all the discussion we've had about the audits and getting the books cleaned up and everything straightened out, there were all sorts of problems and misallocated money put in wrong accounts and, a mess, as we have seen, as they have told us. Not really sure we want to go back to those days, do we? Because, again, what do we go by? In all of our decision making, what do we go by? Not promises, not talk, results. We have results for 4 of the 7 members of the Board of Mayor and Selectmen that are running again this time from 2018 to 2022. They're just now in 2026 getting caught up to the end of that term, the 2022 year, with the audits and with straightening the books out. It took this entire time. It took an entire other term to fix what they apparently so badly messed up. So, my opinion, I don't know that we need to go backwards. But, as always, the voters will make their decision. They will do what they're going to do at the elections. The primary elections coming up May 5th. If there's a runoff needed, and potentially there could, most likely might be a runoff, especially in the mayor's race. You got 4 candidates there. Incumbent Cordelia Lockley, current Ward 5 Selectman Bruce Mullins, Trishelle Veal, and David Myers. A runoff in that and any other race that needed it would be May 19th. And then the general election will be June 16th, and the new board will be sworn in July 1st. Those are the dates. It's going to be an interesting year, isn't it? Always is for an election year. It's going to be the same story next year with the statewide elections. There's always, what's the word I'm looking for? I'll go with tomfoolery. Hijinks abound during an election year. I don't care if it's city, state, federal. If we're voting for the galactic overlord, there's always hijinks involved. Why? Because, and I cannot emphasize this enough, people stink. And if you're thinking to yourself, well, Dave, that's an awfully negative opinion, yes. Thanks for noticing that I pay attention to all of this. It's only sensible reaction some days, isn't it? We continue on a Monday morning right after this on SuperTalk, Mississippi Pike County 93.5.
Take a step towards a stronger you. Join Southwest Health for our 36th annual Heart Healthy Day on Friday, February 13th. Head over to Uptown McComb Mall from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. for free health screenings, expert advice, and exciting giveaways. Follow your heart to better health at the 36th annual Heart Healthy Day on Friday, February 13th. This event is completely free. We'll see you there.
Every now and then, we remind all of you loving, awesome, hardworking husbands that you have a premium it's time to renew. No, it's not life insurance, car insurance, or health insurance. It's way more important than those. I'm Kristen. Gentlemen, it's time to renew those long-term wife insurance policies. When you surprise her with a gift from Selmans, you remind her that no matter what lies ahead, you and she will get through it together. Your gift tells her this long-term wife insurance policy is for life. Renew your long-term wife insurance policy right here at Selmans. We're in it for the long term with you.
Don't miss Dave in the morning. Even when you miss it the first time, you can catch it on the podcast. Missing out would be a crime. SuperTalk 93.5 is always the place to be. Wanna get the podcast version? Here, my friend, is the key. SuperTalkPikeCounty.com. It's all there and it's all the rage. Spotify, Amazon, or Apple, just right there on the page. Dave in the morning, late at night, or anytime you have the crave. SuperTalkPikeCounty.com.
Dave Hughes here. Remember, every weekday morning at 9:06, it's Dave in the Morning, where we solve the problems of the world, or at least complain about them, really loudly and sarcastically. And if you miss out, you can catch up with the podcast version of Dave in the Morning at SuperTalkPikeCounty.com.
You are beautiful on the inside. You are innocence personified, and I will drag you down and sell you out. Run away. I am cold like December snow. I have carved out this soul made of stone, and I will drag you down and sell you out. Embraced by the darkness, I'm losing the light. Encircled by demons I fight. What have I become?
Welcome back.
Now that I've betrayed.
Super Talk, Mississippi, Pike County, 93.5. The weather is pleasant outside. For once. It's been 17 years. And then the stupid groundhog this morning sees his shadow, which is supposed to mean 6 more weeks of winter, but are you gonna trust a pudgy, short-tailed rat? I don't care how nicely dressed the guy holding it is. I'm not sure that is an accurate weather forecasting method. I mean, in this case, it probably is. Looking at the long-range forecast and what we see coming, yeah, it's probably right, but that's just dumb luck. I'm going to count it as that. We put a lot of stock in this nonsense. Nobody believes it, really. We've kind of advanced past that. It is a tradition that no longer happens for the reasons it started happening. It now happens because it's always happened. Do you have things in your life like that? Things that you do because you've always done them, or things that you do a certain way because you've always done them that way? Shake it up a little bit. Try something different. Do something a different way. Shave all your hair off. No, don't do that. I'm just looking for company. Don't do that. But sometimes you kind of feel like going in that direction. One local thing, we had an armed robbery in Summit right next to the interstate on Thursday. They're working on that at the gas station there. It is a never-ending onslaught of news like that, isn't it? I don't know if you saw the news. East Feliciana Parish, down in Clinton, they were having their Mardi Gras parade on Saturday, right around noon. Right around noon. Parade started. It started rolling right around noon. As soon as it started rolling, 3 dim bulbs opened fire. That was the end of the parade, by the way. It rolled like a couple of 100 feet, and then they just killed it and took all the floats away and went home. 5 people were shot. One of them underwent surgery and is expected to be paralyzed from the neck down for the rest of their life. 6-year-old girl was shot, had to have surgery. The 3 individuals, 2 19-year-olds and a juvenile, facing multiple charges. 357 they were using, by the way. Couple of things I want to point out. I mean, these stories have become so common, so unrare, that it's almost not even worth remarking on the fact that it happened. We have now reached the point to where something like this happens and we go, well, yeah. But it goes back to what I just said a moment ago. Are you still doing things the same way because you've always done them that way? You believe the same things because you've always believed them that way? This is a great example of how that can sometimes possibly lead you astray. It will lead you to be relaxed and less attentive, less vigilant if you buy into it. What did your grandma always say? What did your mom and daddy always say? Nothing good happens after midnight, right? Nothing good ever happens after midnight. If you're out that late, there's going to be trouble. Well, apparently, there's also going to be trouble at high noon in a public setting at a parade with the sun shining. It doesn't matter what time of day it is. That used to be true. Used to be, yeah, there was some truth to that. Good rule of thumb. Nothing good happens after midnight. And then it started creeping up, and it was nothing good happens after 10 o'clock. Nothing good happens after 9 o'clock. And eventually we got to the point to where, as I said at the beginning of the show, the attitude has become nothing good happens. Period. Which is not true, because you hear about the bad ones. You haven't heard a word about all the other parades where nothing happened. But we tend to suffer from a really, really stringent case of confirmation bias. Well, there was a shooting at a Mardi Gras parade. All Mardi Gras parades are evil. No. 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 Statistics don't work that way. Life doesn't work that way. But what that does mean is that old expression from grandma or from mom and dad that nothing good happens after midnight, well, that meant if you did find yourself out after midnight for some reason, you paid a little more attention. You were dialed in to what was going on around you at all times. But the rest of the day, I mean, high noon, yeah, not going to pay attention. Those rules are out the window. Wherever you're at, you pay attention. I don't care where you are. I don't care what time of day it is. You can avoid a lot of problems by seeing them coming before they become problems. And that's an adjustment everybody has to make, because there are horrible people out there. Quite a few of them. Who shot a 6-year-old at a parade. And 4 other people, one of whom is now going to be paralyzed from the neck down for the rest of their life because these 3 punks decided to be tough. What they really are is nothing. Absolutely nothing. So you have to look out for those people. They're out there. They exist. They walk amongst us. The ones that have that mindset that it's okay to shoot a 6-year-old. Oh, well. Show them. Those people exist. And if you don't believe me, I'll be glad to meet you at Otarius Marks Park and have a discussion about it. So you have to be aware. You have to keep your eyes peeled. You have to stay on the lookout at all times. I don't mean walk around in fear and go, oh my goodness, something's going to... No. Just pay attention. Don't walk around with your head buried in your phone. Don't walk around lost in your own little world, daydreaming about puppy dogs and bourbon. Pay attention. Be present when you're someplace. Where? Any place. You can avoid a lot of problems. If you see people, in this particular case, if you see 3 guys acting sketchy, you can tell. If you're paying attention, you go, oh, they're up to no good. You can just tell. Well, it might be a good idea to find somewhere else to watch the parade from, or clear out. But unfortunately, that's where the fallacy of sunk costs gets you. In case you're not familiar with that, well, I already put in the time and I got the kids dressed and we got all the stuff done and I packed the car and I put all this time and all this effort into being here. Well, I can't leave now. All of that would have been a waste. It's the fallacy of sunk cost. Just because you've put time, effort, or money into something doesn't mean you have to continue or you lost all of that. Sometimes you have to cut bait. Sometimes you have to cut your losses. And in that case, if you're paying attention, if you're scanning the crowd, if you're aware of what's going on around you, and you see something that it just makes you feel, I don't know about that, get away from it.
If you cry out for more,
It actually can be that simple. And it could save your life.
just to keep you here with me.
Final break.
Gone beyond my years.
And then we're out of here on this Monday on Super Talk, Mississippi Pike County 93.5.
Did I save you? 'Cause I know you saved me too. Let me take a step towards you. Let me feel you in my hands.
Every now and then, we remind all of you loving, awesome, hardworking husbands that you have a premium it's time to renew. No, it's not life insurance, car insurance, or health insurance. It's way more important than those. I'm Kristen. Gentlemen, it's time to renew those long-term wife insurance policies. When you surprise her with a gift from Selmans, you remind her that no matter what lies ahead, you and she will get through it together. Your gift tells her this long-term wife insurance policy is for life. Renew your long-term wife insurance policy right here at Selmans. We're in it for the long term with you.
Take a step towards a stronger you. Join Southwest Health for our 36th annual Heart Healthy Day on Friday, February 13th. Head over to Uptown McComb Mall from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. for free health screenings, expert advice, and exciting giveaways. Follow your heart to better health at the 36th annual Heart Healthy Day on Friday, February 13th. This event is completely free. We'll see you there.
Don't miss Dave in the morning, even when you miss it the first time. You can catch it on the podcast. Missing out would be a crime. SuperTalk 93.5 is always the place to be. Wanna get the podcast version? Here, my friend, is the key. SuperTalkPikeCounty.com. It's all there and it's all the rage. Spotify, Amazon, or Apple, or just right there on the page. Dave in the morning, late at night, or anytime you have the break. SuperTalkPikeCounty.com. It's all there and it's all the rage. Spotify, Amazon, or Apple, or just right there on the page.
Closing time. Open.
You know, the pudgy short-tailed rat is really annoying for predicting how long winter is going to last. I'm going to again renew my proposal that we come up with our own creature and our own date here in Pike County to predict when winter will be over. I nominate a Black Panther. So if somebody could catch one around here, that would actually solve a lot of things. Get one in the snare. Some really brave person can hold it up at 6 o'clock in the morning and go, I predict 6 weeks of intensive care. Just a thought. Have a wonderful day. Enjoy yourself. Be safe. Don't click any links you get from text messages. And we'll do this again tomorrow morning at 9:06. My friend, I'll see you then.
A SuperTalk Mississippi media production.